never walk this road, then you can talk shit. Gambling with my life, but I refuse to go for nonsense. This the life I chose, this all I know, ain't many options. About to tell the truth, I make the rules like I'm Fleece Johnson.
Hey, what's up? This is Big Lee with Hustler Spirit. I want to address some rumors that we've been hearing online. You know, when Fleece was in prison, it was rumors going around that he had passed away when he was in prison. That's what a lot of people thought. And I don't know if those rumors have resurfaced today, but we just heard off of Real Ken's TV. What's up, Big Ken? That some people still think he's dead. So I don't know where these rumors are coming from, but they're rumors, and you know.
Man, what? I'm dead.
Yeah, they said you dead, man.
Man, I cannot be dead. I'm too cute. You ever seen a dead person look as good as me? As good as me? Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you something. And it's the way you show it, man. You show things in a certain way, right? And this right here, that's my birth certificate. Y'all see that? So I'm not dead. I'm very much alive. That's my birth certificate right there. And is that really Fleece Johnson? I think it is. I can hide. Let me see. My medical insurance card with my name on it.
You ain't got to show no. You ain't got to show no.
Nah, I know. I just want to show this though. And my ID, man. Pretty ID.
You got your address on there and everything.
Man, nah, that's my old address. But you know what? I'm very much alive, man. And I appreciate, can't show you the numbers here. That's my social security card. I had my numbers though, but here's the thing. They said Michael Jackson is still alive. Tupac ain't dead. Biggie Small ain't dead. Even though they showed on TV them getting gunned down. It's just what people believe. Now they believe I'm dead. They believe a lot of people's alive who's dead. And now they believing the people alive is dead. But that's what make me a legend. That type of stuff, you know. But it's foolishness. I'm very much alive and talking. Matter of fact, I'm good. You ever seen a dead person smoke? But I tell y'all this, man, it's just haters, man. Either they rumors. They did rumors when I was in prison, man. You couldn't even go to the hole without somebody spreading the rumors. You know, people don't like you. They put rumors out. You know him? Yeah, man, he's a rat. You know him? Yeah, he's gay. You know him? Yeah, that's the one that did this, stole this and that. And be lying, man. People generally, they like to lie to produce some sort of reaction. But I done did over 100 and something videos, man. And what's the dude's name you gave prop to?
Oh, Real Ken's TV.
Real Ken. Man. This is me, man.
No, somebody on his. He didn't say it. He corrected him. He's out of Lexington. Somebody was on. Yeah, somebody was on his show. Yeah, he cool dude.
Man, I need to go through Lexington. That's where all my main people is at, is Lexington, man. The people out of the penitentiary, that's where they at, man. Lexington.
I want to address something.
David Shanks.
It was a guy that left a message, a comment, and it was pretty disrespectful. I hid him from the channel but it was pretty
What did
disrespectful.
he say?
A whole bunch of stuff.
Like
But I want
just a
to.
little.
I don't want to get into it. But
Nah,
I tell you this. I
about
tell you
me.
this. I tell you this. Man, we trying to transition into having Fleece. He's intelligent, man. I'm trying to transition him into more of talking about what's going on today. Because when we talk about just prison, I don't know if he'll admit it, but I'm gonna tell you, mentally it does something to him. It's not a setback. It's mainly emotions. Because mentally the stuff he had to deal with in there, some of the stuff with the torture and everything else that goes along with that, it's hard on people, and
Yeah.
it was hard on him, and it's hard on him every time we talk about it. That's why sometimes I try to talk about other things. But the one thing I want to talk about is the book that he's talked about a whole lot that I've started to listen to, because I'm be honest, I really don't read a lot, do the audio book thing, but it's called The Rape of the Man by what's his name, Juiced A.M. Merlot. And it breaks down like systematic, it's like a systematic analyst of breaking down the mental mind of men. And he talks about it, he talks about it all the time, but it's got my attention now because it took as long to get my attention, but it finally got it on the mind control that he was able to have to get through the 40 years and the torture and not giving up, not going crazy. He read this book, I guess in the first 10 years he was in prison.
Yep.
And
Yep.
He studied the pressure on the weak points of a man's makeup. And they teach you this in his book. How did that help you mentally, exactly, to get through what you went through in there?
See, a lot of the pain and torture in prison is physical and psychological. It's supposed to have a psychological impact. It breaks your spirits and all of that. And all around me, I've seen a whole lot of inmates that been in there a long time, man. They just weak, man. They spirits and stuff been broken, and they mind and stuff, they going crazy. And I wanted to read a book that I felt would strengthen me, able me to see through all the psychological traps, to able me with strength, man, to prevail against those that is enemies. And so, and stop me from not going crazy and stuff, man. I read that book, The Rape of the Man. I'm telling you, that book teaches you, it explains everything, even how kids, it goes into a big thing about parents. They got kids that they put everything they got into these kids, man. These kids got a messed up belief, man. And so they would hire deprogrammers to come in and deprogram the kids, get all that nonsense out of them, put, structure in them, or truth. And so the book gave me strength, man. I never forgot the book. I never forgot that book, man. And matter of fact, I read that book about, I said I was around 20. I was about 20 years old when I read that book. And it gave me the strength, man, to make it and to stop the people that were trying to mentally break me down from allowing it, It strengthened me just like the Bible strengthened people. This book put strength in me, and it showed me. It showed me, man, a lot. So please get it.
So it's It saved you mentally.
Yeah.
But what did it do? Let me ask you this. How was you able to use it against other people in a reverse manner?
Well, for instance, I'll give you a good example. I wasn't getting out. You know, I kept picking up time in prison, you know, fighting and stuff. So I try to help other people get out. So these guys go up for parole. They'll come to me, you know, because every time I go up, they tell me, flop me 5, 6 years, you know, back-to-back flops. But people would come to me and ask me questions, hey, police, man, I'm going up for parole, man. I'm nervous, man. I want to go home. So I would say, I say, look, I'm going to tell you what they know. The people on the parole board. I studied in that same book, The Rape of the Man, it breaks everything else down. Now, you study the people that is bringing the pain. You study their agency, their policies, and all this, and really what they was trained in, educated, criminal justice, right? I had books on all that stuff in prison. And the parole board studied body language. You know, they got members on the board that is the study body language, your body, like put a hand right here on your heart. That's a gesture, that's a sign of telling the truth. When you make a statement, you tap your heart. The eyes going down, going to the left means he's lying. Whole bunch of stuff. And so I would coach these inmates. I say, now, when you go in there, when they ask you, the last thing they're going to ask you, is there anything you want to say? And you're going to tell them you got a GED, college, you done took up some trades, and you got family support waiting on you and a job. And they're going to ask you, is that it? And if you say, yeah, you ain't going to make it. You would think with all of that, good behavior and college and school, academic and vocational, that you'll go home. They want to hear you say something, express remorse for what you did to get you in there in the first place. They don't care about your GED, they don't care about your college, they want to hear how sorry you are for doing what you did to get you in here. I coached them to that. I said, when you explain that, touch your heart. Because they going to read your body language up front. Everybody I coached made parole, man. And then they got a thing in there where when they start showing the video screen, when they say they're going into deliberation on it, they cut the screen off, but you see the red light, it means it's still on. They can see you, but you can't see them. So this is the time where you touch both hearts. You talking to the officer in there with you, telling the man that, you know, you gave your heart to him, man, I really feel bad about this. I'm ashamed of myself, you know, for what I did, getting all this stuff, right? When you come back on, we give you parole. And then I used to tell them to take onions, a little piece of onion, stick it right there before they go in, have it in your fingernail, and do your eye like that. Make tears come out of your eye, man. So while you're in there talking, man, your eyes is running tears, and you touching your heart saying, you know, I feel so bad about what I did to get it. And they seeing this, it's like true emotion. So that book taught me a lot, man. So that's how I was able to use it. And when the people were trying to break me down mentally, when I showed them how strong I am from reading this book.
What was they doing to you to break you down?
What weren't they doing to me? Man, Y'all don't know how it feels to have somebody strip you butt naked, lay you on a solid, cold, steel bed, solid steel, while you naked and handcuff you to the bed and handcuff your ankles to the bed, spread eagle, and leave you like that for hours, man, sometimes days. Well, they only take one of your hands loose to let you eat. You know, when they bring you dinner, one arm is loose, and then they put it back. No shower, none of that shit. That's torture, man. And then to have flies, a bunch of flies eating out of your ass while you changed up like that, and you can't do nothing about it because you changed up. That's mental torture, man. And to spit in your food and throw my food when they used to walk past my door, take my whole tray. Chow time, bam! Smack it against the bars and all my food's all over the place, the walls and floor. Most people would have just broke down, just went nuts over this, lost all control. That book taught me strength, man. And I used to tell them when they do it, thank you. And by the way, the food you slammed, it was good. I ate every bit of it. The gravy, I scraped the gravy off the wall. Licked my fingers, boy. See, I was taking the mental stuff that they was bringing to break me down and reversed it on them. First on them, you can't break me down. Then that puts fear in them. That's breaking them down. You know, and it was such a battle, man. It was a nasty battle, but had I not that book.
So what's going through your head when, because even on the
See, let me say this too. Plus the book talk about medication. How medication is used to break you and to reduce your will and your turn your spirit off. And in prison, a lot of inmates, they put them on medication and are driving crazy. Inmates start going crazy and stuff. They can't do this time. I mean, you can lay out and shoot your guns and stuff. But now you're in the back goddamn penitentiary and you want to go crazy. You know, yeah. And they go get medication. And that medication runs them crazy, man. And the book was telling me how to avoid this, right? So when they try to put me on medication, I say, man, what you need to do is leave me the fuck alone. I don't need no medicine. I need you to leave me alone. Stop disrespecting me. Stop violating my rights and all of this. But they wouldn't listen. So I followed.
One question I don't think I ever asked you, since we're talking about the rape of the man, the book. When they used to come in your cell, 7 or 8 of them, they talked about on MSNBC.
Yeah.
What was you thinking? Because, I mean, you knew you was going to lose against 7 or 8.
I don't, look, here's my quote. This is quotes from me that I used to tell the guards. They say, you can't win, Johnson. You can't win. Back up and be handcuffed. I say, I don't fight to win. I fight to make a statement, man. You know, it ain't even about winning. It's about letting you know that you will be fought.
I know, but they come in there and beat the hell out of you.
They ain't coming there and never beat the hell
They beat the hell out of you.
Man, listen, man.
So 7 or 8 of them coming out, you mean to tell me?
Look, here's how I trap myself. I'm a man of strategy. Just like little Charlie, he works at the prison. His mama's canteen Miss Burton, Big Charlie. They cool as fuck, man. Good white people. Charlie is about 300 and something. Big country boy, this wide. He said, Johnson, I heard you tell her break handcuffs, and my daddy tell me that he seen all the things, he fixed all the things you tear up. I don't think you that strong. I said, man, go on somewhere. He took his badge off. He got me out as a janitor. You know, he ain't gonna try to hurt me, but he wants to see if I'm as strong as people being seen. You know, I mean, how can one man do all the stuff I done, man? Man, when he breaks down like that, he unbuttoned his shirt, and I seen his white T-shirt. I said, man, you gonna get hurt, Charlie? He said, ain't no little strongy thing like you can hurt me. And when he spread his arm, when he spread his hands like that, I shot in and grabbed that thumb, just the thumb, and done like that.
That's what you used to do.
Yeah, handcuffs.
You used to be able to break.
It's when you decide to break handcuffs, it ain't something you just do. Just wake up in the morning, hey, feeling good, and you can break them. It takes a certain degree of anger and frustration and.
I interrupted your story. My fault. You was talking about Big Charlie. He did what?
No, yeah. Well, Big Charlie, anyway, when he spread his hands like that, I grabbed his thumb. And when I grabbed that, and I took it around his back, and I stuck my feet out and clipped him. And I ran. He told his mom.
You ran?
Yeah, I ran. He said, come on back. Come on. I said, no, Charlie, I told you I was going to put you on the floor. I said, I already know how strong he is. Yeah, he got crushing strength. But you know what? It ain't even about the strength, it's about the power of the man. That's what that book, The Rape of the Man, taught me, man. How to use your power in your man, man. And like in another instance, I was butt naked with a waist chain, a thick waist chain wrapped around your body with the black box, pull the thing through there, and with the padlock on it, with the handcuffs on, and shackles, butt naked, man. They put me in the cell. All the inmates, you know, white dudes, J.D. Tackett, all them, Bobby Bruce, them, you know, big names in Kentucky prison system. They call themselves the dirty white boys. Everybody, the whole cell house went crazy. Fleece, how they got you, man? Like they said you butt naked, man, they violating your rights and all that. Everybody in that cell house flooded they toilet and stopped it up and flooded it. Water everywhere. They done shut off all the water. So after all the inmates, you know, they protested what is happening to me. And then JD done seen me do a lot of stuff. He said, Fleece. I said, yeah. He said, we done did all we can do, man. We know you can come out of that shit. Don't let us down. I said, I got you.
And you broke out of it.
Yeah. And this is how simple. Now you would think, oh, he got a lot of strength of gods and stuff like that. I'm in a cell, the bed in this cell is concrete. The whole bed is concrete with rebars and all that. The table, stool is concrete coming from the wall. I done did concrete work, so I know only thing holding that to the wall is rebars, you know, it's concrete. You can beat it, stomp it, and all that. It can take a little whipping, but can it take what I'm getting ready to give it? So in handcuffs and stuff, I managed to get on this little stool and get on top of this little tabletop right here. And I stomped. I jumped up, boom, both feet. Now, I'm in handcuffs, man. You can imagine the pain around my wrist. I said, ooh, it hurt. But I know I got to do it. It's a situation where you take a little pain.
For great gain, huh?
I suffer a whole lot of pain not doing nothing, right? So I jumped up again. Boom, about 6 times. That thing broke off the wall and I hit the floor, right? So I lay down there, got my strength. You had to lay down for a while, right? I'm in pain, man. My legs is shackled. I got handcuffs on my leg, everything. So I sat up and I look over at it. It was hanging on rebar. So when I got that off, now the rebar is still sticking out of the wall. And you know how they flat at the end, right? So now I got this padlock on me. Before I could even get to the handcuff with that black box, you can't really move your wrist. I stuck it through there because it's welded. Just break the welding seal, but it's gonna take a lot of strength. So that little table I got on, a stool to drop up on the table. I got that and I said, man, I'm gonna have to turn the flip some way to break this shit like I got it in all right.
With all that pain on your wrist.
Man, all that pain on me, man. I said, fuck it. Yeah. It dropped and flipped and it popped. Boom. I hit the floor again. I'm hanging like that. It's still, but I done broke the padlock, the thing. So I got the change off of me. Now it's in handcuffs. Now, the handcuffs, like right here. This little section right here. That's the only thing. See, this back part right here, this is the only part that is welded. This is just like a little welding. And whatever you get through this crack, do like that and pop that seal right there. It's
a pin.
A pin. It pops easy, man. If you put a little pressure, if you can get something through this crack and do like that thing gonna pop like it ain't shit, right? It'll pop. And once I did that, then I got the other one off. And then I went into this is a new cell house that they put the hole in. While they was remodeling the old hole over the lawsuit. They had to move everybody out of it and redo that whole thing. And so they had outlets in the wall, plug outlets, took the screw out, took the plate off, and them little knockout holes, and I knocked one out. And so I took the change. And to this day, here's the secret. I put the change through that, and it went down in the wall and through that hole and through the light thing.
The conduit.
Yeah, the conduit. The whole chain went down there, and I put the plate back on her and the screws and tightened it real, And so then I took the handcuff right here and went down on my leg ankle and stuck that little piece in her. I got that piece in her and popped it like that. Got it off my ankle. So then all the inmates is waiting. So I said, JD Tackett. He said, yeah. I said, I'm out. He said, I knew it. They said, man, he just broke out. So I started turning the place up. And so here come the guards. So when they finally got the door open, I let them open it this time because I wanted to prove a point to them. They couldn't find the change. They said, what did you do with the change? I said, I swallowed it. So they told all the guards, can't no guard go home on that shift. They gonna have to stay at work until that change come up. They was at work 3-4 days, man.
Because they felt like you could use it as a weapon.
Yeah, they want their change, right? And they put me in another one, right? Same thing.
You put it down the wall too?
Yeah. And that was it.
They
And
couldn't find it.
They couldn't find it. They said, and they thinking I got superhuman strength. No, I got an intelligent man. I know how to do destructive shit.
So do they really think you swallowed it?
Man, they had a female guard coming up, Brenda Henderson. Boy, she is so cute, man. And she's my buddy, though, man. She sat down, she said, I'm laying in the bed. They got me in the bed on my back this time, changed up, naked. And she said, and I talked to them, and she said, I can get a promotion if you tell me where that change is. I said, what kind of promotion? She said, oh, shit, captain. Wouldn't you like to see me as captain? I said, nah, I wouldn't like to see you as nothing. I don't want to see you, period. Oh, come on. I thought you liked me. Then she said, look at you. She said, ooh, you got a big prick. All this, and I started getting aroused, and she using all this stuff. But she didn't get the change out of me. She left. They tried everything, man. And this is the first time. If that penitentiary is contacted, and you say, hey, I know what he did with the chain. Hey, boy, they'll hug you. You hear me? They said, we've been trying to figure out. Fleece Johnson is smart. You know, it wasn't that I ain't gonna lie. Now, when I broke him handcuffs, and I did that, it was, they were snapped. Now, I can't even explain that. I done did things out of anger, pure rage anger, that makes me wonder who I am, right? Who's Fleece Johnson? And matter of fact, I still trying to figure out my book, Who is Fleece Johnson? Get it on Amazon, the book. I wrote this book. So, and I still have questions, man, because I remember one time, like this scar up over my eye right here. I was the first inmate because I'm throwing shit on them and stuff. They took a solid metal plate and welded it on my door, and then welded a plate over the top and all this stuff. And it didn't have no ventilation, and I said, man, I can't do this, man. They said, yeah, we can. So, when the nurse came through, they can hit the tray slot, open that, and hand me, whatever medication I wanted some cold pills. She squatted and tried to hand it to me under the door, right? I tried to break her finger, right? I said, he nasty. And I jumped up and tried to spit through the little crack at the top. And the ceiling ain't high, and it hit right over the door. And my eye hit that and cut my eye open right there. Now, this little mark here, ain't nobody, I did this. I got so mad that day, I ran over to the sink, a sink that was bolted and welded to the wall. I said, you motherfucker, I was cussing. I said, I hit that sink, not with two hands, with one. Just hit it like that. That thing said, boom. All the anger left me. I'm like, what just happened here? Did I do this? And then I got angry again, went over and did like that. And when I snatched it off the wall, a sharp piece went in my leg. Boom. Cut my leg open. So, I done did shit in, one time I had a book, a big magazine this big, sitting on my table. And I made it again. Next thing you know, I screamed real loud. That book went from that table, hit the wall. This book is that thick. That table.
Wait a minute. You screamed.
Yeah.
You didn't throw the book.
No. The book is like sitting probably 4 or 5 feet away from me. It's sitting on the table. I'm over by the door.
You screamed and the book went in the air.
Books went, I heard them go, boof. I turned around, all the anger left me.
Now look.
Now listen.
We not doing this shit today.
Now look. I don't.
We not doing this.
Look.
Superpowers. Is that what you're saying?
Nah, I'm saying this. That when you take that and then you take all them visions and dreams I had spiritual.
Yeah, you doing this with a straight face.
No, listen, and put that together. Then you take my life, all the stuff that I encountered, even at 10, to stand up saying I ain't gonna, cry no more and get whooped and don't cry, and then fought a wolf as a child. As a child, real wolf. And then go to prison, and then the police shoot the car up, and I didn't get shot one time. It was a whole lot of incidents, man, leading up. And then look at me now. There was a time when I was borderline illiterate. I was disrespectful, totally. Only people I respected was old people and kids. Nobody else, man. And so this big turnaround in me, then I made it through 40 years of what I went through. I did things in there that people said, I don't know how you made it out, man. Everybody said they're going to kill you. But
you said all that to say, because you're talking about this flying book.
So I'm saying all that to say that I don't know a lot, but I know this thing does more to me than what meets the eye, buddy. And we all live our life. We all go through things or see things in life that others they see. It ain't meant for nobody else.
Yeah.
It's meant for us.
Make it fly. I want to see it.
No, you look.
I want to see it.
No, you ain't listening.
You can't do it on command?
No, look.
Because you didn't do it then.
No, I didn't. Somebody else did.
Who was it?
I don't know who did it.
It must have been double sale.
It sounds ridiculous. And that's why sometimes I don't like telling stories, because the things I done went through and done seen.
So after the book flew and hit, and you just sit there like, what's going on?
I'm messed up. I'm like, how in the hell who did this shit? Did I do this?
Did you go pick the book up?
Yeah, I picked it up.
It didn't scare you?
No, I just put it back where it came from, but I sat on the bed. I had to sit back and think on that for a while. And then after I thought on it, I went right back, being angry. But I done touched, and then here's another thing. The going to hell part. And see, I can't get that out of my mind. Because I read in the Bible where it said that when Jesus went to hell, he was like 3 days. He said, and the scripture said it wasn't even possible that it can hold him. He's righteous, right? Hell is meant for people that is sinners. That's where the sinners go, to hell. That's the death, But it ain't never been reported that somebody went to hell and made it out of there. Go and come back, stuff like that. But I've been. And I want to say this, though. I've been in when I put all this stuff together, man, my agent is who helped me out here. My agent who's doing the broadcasting right here.
Appreciate it, man.
No, for real. You younger than me, but you older than me up here. And I ain't never in my life had somebody that can cause me to talk about my life. You know, I'm the type of person, I live my life, I didn't take a lot of pictures. Usually you'll see me taking pictures, but no pictures of me. You know, and so, but when I start doing this video and all this stuff, I take pictures now for the show. But it shows you my character. I was never big on that type of attention, you know, into my life. You know, person asks me about my life, man, you don't even know nothing about me, man. You know, and for me to sit up here and talk about gay stuff that I did do it in penitentiary and all of this stuff are things that people would look down on you about. I didn't care what a person thought, man, you know. And my agent talked to me, man, and kept on. I said, man, I ain't gonna tell these people nothing. Well, you gonna tell them the truth? Or you gonna get up there and lie? So we went back and forth, man. I said, yeah, man, I'll do it. So
because it was to help.
Yeah, and
if you wouldn't have said nothing about it, you would have been like everybody else that goes to prison and never say anything about what happens in prison. Everybody comes home from prison. I done said this 1,000 times. They never talk about what really goes on in there.
Yeah, and what they done seen in there.
Right, or been through.
Yeah. Man, you gonna see things you don't want to see. I'm sorry about your luck, but you in the penitentiary. You in there around people that is in there for crimes that you wouldn't even believe, man. You know, they even got serial killers in prison. You know, and I got to talk to serial killers, just people that is just, I sat at the dinner table with people that was just set on this blood. They just bloody, you know. They just killing and stuff is just what they do, man. And I eat dinner with them, and but people, when I think about all of that, and the inmates that came to me and showed me a Davy Bowie knife. The inmate touched me from the back. Now, he could have ran the knife through me right there. He said a guard gave it to him and gave him some money and some weed and shit.
To kill you.
To kill me. And they ain't gonna do it because they don't like them pigs, man. You know, people, they saw me as a real stand-up guy because I wasn't no rat, none of that shit, right? And I fought the guards, right? I fought the very people they considered their enemy. And they respected me for that. That's the only thing that saved me, man. If I didn't have that under my belt, man, they would have stabbed me right on that wall. Got rid of the knife and stuff. Wasn't no cameras, and nobody seen nothing. Guards weren't even watching the wall.
What's going through your mind after you know you came that close to death? That time. It's been several times, but that time.
Man, anger.
Like how you slip up or...
Yeah, how I slip up and
the guards sending
people. Man, I was dead, man. I was dead right then. There was times when I know I was dead. But because of my respect, you know, the way I conducted myself, I got respect from people in there, man. That made a difference, your respect. You get respect in prison, you gonna make it.
That's your last question before we get out of here today. What do you think about the prison system now with the tablets, the phones, all the stuff that makes it comfortable? Now, you know, me and your mindset's different. I feel like, you know how I feel towards inmates, even though I got family and friends. I don't feel like I shouldn't feel like you should have movie day, barbecue day, a tablet, a phone in my mind as a prisoner, because it sounds like it's just too comfortable. It's too inviting. You won't have a problem going back if you're not missing what we do out here and you got it all in there. How's that going to keep people out?
Okay, I'm gonna use me for an example. I came out of prison a changed man, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got my GED in prison. I learned how to read and write in prison.
You didn't have to, though.
Huh?
You didn't have to learn in there.
No, but I learned it in there.
Okay.
Now, they got people in prison, man. They know they in prison. They know for what, crime and all of this. But these are people that has made a mistake in their life. And you got not all people that go to prison. I done seen people in prison that I felt like they should never get out. This type of person, they should never put out in society, right? The separation for a person from prison is like, it's a society out here. Now, if a person is not conducting themselves according to society standards, you know, you work for a living, you do this, you respect people, you don't commit crimes and stuff like this. Then when you become a problem for society, they move you from a society to a penitentiary. Now, you give it time, you give it time, but not enough time, you'll be out pretty soon. How will you want the person to come out? Will you want them to come out worse than they went in? A lot of them do. But you got a lot of them come out because they was given an opportunity in there to take up a trade, to enter a program, to keep their mind focused, man. They was allowed to buy TV. You know, it keeps their mind off of all the stuff going on in the prison, the fighting and the gangs and all this stuff. Then you get PlayStations. We got PlayStation in Kentucky prison. You can't get them no more, but the ones that already got them, their grandfather it in. You know, if you ever lose it, it's gone for good. But they got a lot of them in property. We usually get them. You know, I can go to prison now and get one, but I'm saying a used one. But it helps a person take their mind off of all the stress in the penitentiary and all that, especially if you're trying to get yourself together. Yeah, them programs help. Now, the barbecuing and all that shit.
I ain't got no problem with the programs. I think you should have a trade or be able to do some school when you get out. But I'm talking about the stuff that makes young people that they don't mind being in there. I know young people in there now, they get on video calls and they look like they're having a party in there. We see on social media all the time. They TikToking and shit from in there.
Yeah.
On cell phones and, you know, tablets or whatever. I think it's bull.
Yeah, prison should be a prison. You know, with if I be honest, man, it was when we get our prison system functions according to the administration that is governing. We get a governor that is a Democrat. You're going to have a Democratic administration and correction. And the Democrats, they do programs and all this stuff. The Republicans, when we get Republicans, they bring their administration in, man, they on strictness. Strict this, everything changes and shit. But I'm like this, man. I'm alive.
Stay free.